walk the streets. I get up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm walking up and down streets. I was up at, in Ithaca, New York at Cornell. The police they arrested me. They pulled me over, wanted to know what I was doing and all that because
you were casing.
You were casing the house.
I was
kind of peering in windows.
Exactly what I was doing.
Exactly
what I was doing. And by the way, I've bought over 100 million square feet of properties in different platforms. And very, very rarely I can count in one hand how many times I've used a broker. I don't use brokers. Not that I don't look at all that information. I do, but I walk around and I can tell what will be for sale because maybe there's no leasing sign. It's a little run down. There's missing a tenant. I have a nose and I can tell, like anyone else can tell, that maybe the person who owns it is, advanced in years or they've died and their families got it and someone's not paying attention. And then what I do is I ask the tenants, because there's usually not a for lease sign even, and I ask the tenants, who's the landlord? I have a problem. I usually get the landlord's name. I call the landlord and, certainly not always, but, a low percentage. Oh, yeah, maybe we would entertain an offer. I mean, I'm in the process. I'm closing next week on 250 beds of housing at on Cornell's campus. Tremendous location. Wasn't for sale. So off-market deal. By the way, the seller is giving me 80% financing, and I put no deposit down.
That's really interesting. So what you're saying is that it's purely a value play, and you think that if a place looks like it's run down, if something looks like it's not being tended to or taken care of, then realistically the owner isn't getting as much value they should out of it, or they just don't care about it enough to hopefully, you as a potential buyer can investigate and maybe buy it off their hands.
It's amazing. For some reason, real estate, there's owners that age out and the market changes and they just don't pay attention and these properties run down. What's so exciting to me when I talk to folks looking to buy properties is we're going through an unbelievable period in the next, it's already started next 10, 15 years where folks are aging out, they're passing on, their estates are getting stepped up values, their children don't want dad's old hardware store, dad's old 4-unit multifamily or whatever it is, and these families are selling these properties and Blackstone doesn't want to buy them. So these are great properties for the folks listening to us today that they can buy and manage and buy them efficiently. Also, there's been so much inflation in the cost of materials that you can buy buildings in better locations at materially lower dollar amounts than what they cost to reproduce.
A common theme that I'm seeing based off of everything you're saying is that it seems like it's an effort problem. So do you think that is the biggest obstacle in becoming wealthy today is people just don't want to go out, case the joints like you do. You walk the streets.
I don't know. I work really hard and I got a lot of money already, so I don't have to work that hard, but it's my nature. I work very hard. I'm very creative. I don't think linear, like, oh, I'm going to buy this and get a return. I have 3 plays going on at the same time. I'm going to buy that building and put the bagel guy in that I have a relationship with. I'm going to redo the apartments upstairs, and I'm going to put a sauna and a cold plunge in the basement that's presently vacant. And I'm going to figure all that out before I close.
And what if you don't?
Then I don't buy the property. Then I don't close it. Then I don't do it. Every purchase agreement, by the way, I'm very good at negotiating purchase agreements without deposits, but every deposit's refundable. And by the way, if people don't refund your deposit, you can always put a list pendants down and people are happy to give you your deposit back. No one wants to have a fuss.
So explain, what do you put in the contracts that gives you such a big advantage?
Every contract has a due diligence period, environmental and title, and you do a good job at having the proper documentation in advance, and you get a period of time to figure it out. By the way, often it takes 30 or 40 days just to sign the purchase agreement. Then you have 60 days, and maybe you have an extended period of time if there's environmental questions or environmental issues. You take advantage. The time between you see a property and the time you close, that's not a due diligence period to just check that the roof doesn't leak. That's your time to create value. So it's all about hustle and pace, and that's what's missing. So the people who have hustle, and you know who they are, you've had lots of them on the show, those people are making money hand over foot. The folks that, are waiting and we'll figure it out later, that's not the way to do it.
And what's your pitch? When you give one of these owners a call and you want to buy their building, what do you say that convinces them to sell on good terms?
Okay, first of all, normally I pay more than anyone else. I overpay for everything. And I pay because I'm going to create more value or I'm not going to buy it. So it's either going to be worth it when I buy it or I'm not going to buy it. By the way, 99% of the time I buy it because I have a very good nose and understanding of what I'm doing. And I'm not wasting my time and I'm not wasting the seller's time to do all this and not put it together. So I usually have a story. So I spent 17 years building Walmart stores across the East Coast of the United States and did all of it with no money and knew exactly what I was doing and closed on every single deal that we signed up with.
How does someone know when they know enough to be able to do something like that?
I think that the secret is to start really, really small. So I love little deals and happy to work on little deals, and then grow the platform. Start at the beginning, have a buy box, and then do a smallest deal you can in that buy box, and then keep going as long as you know what you're doing.
Is recreating this harder in 2026 than it was 10 years ago?
Okay, so real estate is incredibly cyclical. So, for example, I started in real estate in 1988, and it was boom times. And I had from 1988 to 2005, and I developed 100 shopping centers, 10 million square feet, spectacular growth. And then it stopped, literally just stopped altogether. And I went on to do other things. I bought operating companies that own their own real estate and then played that game out, if you will, for 20 years, but not a lot of real estate deals and great opportunities as far as I'm concerned. That was sort of a slower period. Right now, I think is a really exciting and dynamic period for a variety of reasons. Some we've discussed, folks aging out, properties transferring, conventional financing being available. And also, of course, bonus depreciation and being a real estate professional is a super exciting moment and gives a lot more juice to the real estate professionals doing deals right now.
And really quick, I gotta say, something that Jack and I have been trying to do a lot more lately is just to remove the annoyances that quietly waste time and energy, because those things add up fast. The thing is, we're always on the go, we're always trying to get to the next thing, so having a cleaner setup and a little more control in your day really goes a long way, and that is exactly why we absolutely love MagBack. The MagBack Elite case is so much more than just a case. It has the finger loop for a secure grip, side grips that feel great, a pinky pillow for comfort, and a built-in kickstand when you need it.
That is all built to make everyday use way better. And it also just comes with a screen protector, so that's one less thing that you have to worry about.
Then they also have their MagBack 3-in-1 home multi-charger that keeps everything clean and ready to go. You drop your phone, AirPods, and Apple Watch on it at night, and by morning, everything is charged in one place. What I really like about this is that it's not just like a mess of wires that looks awful. I don't have to try to plug and play and which one does what. It's all in one place, and it looks incredibly clean, and it just makes it easy.
I kid you not, Graham and I are genuinely huge fans of MagBack. I use their wallet, I use their phone case, and also on the side of my Tesla screen, I put my phone up there. It is so helpful. Check it out with this footage. I can guarantee if you're on Apple or Android, they have something for you. So if you want to make your setup cleaner and way more efficient, definitely check them out with the link down below, and don't forget to use our code, which is also down below.